wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil. The more sand has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. I'm not interested in preserving the status quo. I want to overthrow it. Benefits should be conferred gradually, and in that way, they will taste better. When you disarm the people, you commence to offend them and show that you distrust them, either through cowardice or lack of confidence, and both of these opinions generate hatred. The fact is that a man who wants to act virtuously in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous. There is today a frightful disappearance of living species, be they plants or animals, and it's clear that the density of human beings has become so great, if I can say so, that they have begun to poison themselves, and the world in which I am finishing my existence is no longer a world that I like. Just as the individual is not alone in the group, nor anyone in society alone among the others, so man is not alone in the universe. So man is not alone in the universe. Animals are good to think with. Understanding arises from reducing one type of reality into another. Our students wanted to know everything, but only the newest theory seemed to them worth bothering with. Knowing nothing of the intellectual achievements of the past, they kept fresh and intact their enthusiasm for the latest thing, fashion. Fashion dominated their interest. They valued ideas not for themselves, but for the prestige that they could wring from them. Since music is the only language with the contradictory attributes of being intelligible and untranslatable, the musical creator is a being comparable to the gods, and music itself the supreme mystery of the science of man. The dogma of cultural relativism is challenged by the very people for whose moral benefit the anthropologists established it in the first place. The complaint the underdeveloped countries advance is not that they are being westernized, but that the westernization is proceeding too slowly. The only phenomenon with which writing has always been concomitant is the creation of cities and empires. That is the integration of large numbers of individuals into a political system and their grading into castes or classes. It seems to have favored the exploitation of human beings rather than their enlightenment. Being human signifies, for each one of us, belonging to a class, a society, a country, a continent, and a civilization, and for us, European Earth dwellers, the adventure played out in the heart of the New World signifies in the first place that it was not our world, and that we bear responsibility for the crime of its destruction. Our system is the height of absurdity, since we treat the culprit both as a child, so as to have the right to punish him, and as an adult, in order to deny him consolation. No contact with savage Indian tribes has ever daunted me more than the morning I spent with an old lady, swathed in woolies, who compared herself to a rotten herring, encased in a block of ice. The anthropologist respects history, but he does not accord it a special value. He conceives it as a study complementary to his own. One of them unfurls the range of human societies in time, the other in space. Scientific knowledge advances haltingly and is stimulated by contention and doubt. Music is a language by whose means messages are elaborated, that such messages can be understood by the many but sent out only by few, and that it alone among all the languages unites the contradictory character of being at once intelligible and untranslatable. These facts make the creator of music a being like the gods. Freedom is neither a legal invention nor a philosophical conquest, the cherished possession of civilizations more valid than others, because they alone have been able to create or preserve it. It is the outcome of an objective relationship between the individual and the space he occupies, between the consumer and the resources at his disposal. With all its technical sophistication, the photographic camera remains a coarse device compared to the human hand and brain. Not all poisonous juices are burning or bitter, nor is everything which is burning and bitter poisonous. In the case of European towns, the passing of centuries provides an enhancement. In the case of American towns, the passing of years brings degeneration. It is not simply that they have been newly built. They were built so as to be renewable as quickly as they were put up. That is, badly.